Blood ran into my mouth, metallic and warm. My vision blurred as I staggered toward the base gate, shoulder hanging loose, ribs screaming. Behind me, my brother-in-law's voice echoed, "Shoulda just signed the damn mortgage." And my sister, my own blood, stood there, cold as steel, and said, "You brought this on yourself." I dragged myself forward, one hand pressed to the wound, one hand clawing the gravel. The MPs on duty sprinted when I collapsed. I remember one voice shouting, "Who did this?" I smiled through the blood, because I already knew how this would end, and it wouldn't be me broken on the ground. My sister was everything to me once. We grew up in the same small house, shared the same hand-me-downs, whispered secrets under the same leaking roof. I protected her from bullies, from our father's temper, from the world. When she married him, the brother-in-law, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I shook his hand, welcomed him into the family. But I watched, always watched. The gambling, the arrogance, the way he barked orders at her, like she was property, not a wife. When the mortgage papers came, slid across the table with expectant eyes, I knew what it meant. They wanted me to be their safety net, their guarantor, their leash to drag when the debt came due. For once in my life, I said no. That's when things shifted. Calls unanswered, invitations stopped, and the looks, those sharp, cutting looks when I showed up at family gatherings. "You've changed," my sister said once, as if protecting myself was betrayal. But nothing compared to that night. Him, waiting for me outside the barracks, his fist like a hammer, my shoulder tearing as I hit the pavement, boots against ribs, the taste of blood, and her voice watching it happen, not stopping it, not helping, just whispering, "You should have signed." That was the moment family died. I could have pressed charges immediately, but no. Anger is loud. Revenge is patient. In the hospital, they asked if I wanted to file. I shook my head. "I'll handle it," I said, because I knew something they didn't. He attacked me on base, federal property, military jurisdiction. That changed everything. And I wasn't just a victim. I was a soldier with clearance, with connections, with knowledge of exactly how to set a trap. Step 1, documentation. Medical reports, photographs of the dislocated shoulder, the fractured rib, the MP's sworn statements. I filed them away, quiet, like loading bullets into a chamber. Step 2, jurisdiction. I requested JAG review. Assault on a service member within a restricted area? That wasn't just a bar fight. That was federal. It carried weight my brother-in-law couldn't imagine. Step 3, leverage. I found his record, parking tickets unpaid, a misdemeanor for disorderly conduct, debt stacked like a tower ready to collapse. I handed it piece by piece to the investigators. Not embellishment, just light shined on rot. Step 4, silence. I didn't confront them, didn't warn them. I healed, I trained, and I waited while the machine of justice turned its gears. The knock came 6 weeks later. At their house, Saturday morning, military police, crisp uniforms, knocking on his door. My sister opened it, confusion painting her face. Then came the words that stripped the color from both of them. "Mr. Blank, you're under arrest for assaulting a service member on federal property." The look in his eyes when they cuffed him? Priceless. The way he shouted my name, as if I had betrayed him. No, I hadn't betrayed him. I had simply let consequence find him. My sister turned on me later, tears streaming, screaming that I had ruined their lives. I stood calm, cold. "No," I said, "you ruined mine the night you stood there and watched." Her mouth opened, then closed. She had no answer. He faced federal charges. The mortgage? Denied. No bank would touch them with his record bleeding across the paperwork. Their future, the one they thought they could chain me to, turned to ash. And me? I walked back onto base with my head high, scars on my body, but clarity in my soul. Family is supposed to shield you. They made me bleed instead. So I taught them what happens when you weaponize betrayal against a soldier who knows how to fight back. Even the MPs said later, shaking their heads, "We didn't expect it to fall apart like that. We've never seen a civilian taken down so hard." I just smiled. Because it wasn't luck. It was patience, precision. They wanted me as a guarantor for their debt. Instead, I became the guarantor of their downfall. And I never looked back.